Rookie head coach Ime Udoka has built a strong house on foundations of defense at the Boston Celtics this year, and the numbers tell such a story. The gap in defensive rating in 2022 from first and second is the same gap as exists between second and 10th in the NBA. Coach Udoka has described the defense as suffocating with no real weakness as a result of its combination of big wings, versatile bigs, and a pit bull of a point guard. And that's where we'll start breaking some of this footage down, crediting Boston's staunch defending with four key themes. Number one being that pitbull, Marcus Smart. Two, paint and rim protection. Three, Time Lord, obviously. And four, Boston's versatility and switching ability. But all good teams need their cultural architects, all defenses need their generals, and Marcus Smart certainly fits the bill. Here, 5, 10, 15 seconds into a game against Denver, he's diving onto the floor, setting the tone for how he wants Boston to defend. And it's not just intensity that he brings, it's also a good awareness. Here he tries to go for the steal off Nikola Jokic. Jokic thinks he's shooking him off, but he realizes the corner is the only place that pass can go, and he gets Boston away in transition for an easy Tatum bucket. Marcus consistently fights over screens and locks onto ball handlers like here, despite being the smallest on the floor. And Boston are a very switch-heavy team, the most in the NBA. Yet that doesn't stop Marcus fighting over stuff. Here I like that he just cuts off the court for Aaron Gordon, gives him nowhere to go, and you're never going to win that dogfight on the floor against Marcus Smart. And I love this just for how many decisions go into an NBA possession. Marcus is scanning his surroundings. Should he go and help for a charge? No, doesn't need to. Still sticks to his guy on the perimeter. Good help position can affect on ball and off. Scanning, realizes there's no real pass on, and now is the time to double. Bam, another transition opportunity. At time of recording allowed the second least points in the paint in the NBA, and against Denver this was apparent because Jokic is always looking for cutters in that little area there. Perimeter guys collapse, don't let anything in, bang out in transition. This high spread pick and roll against Atlanta is a totally different situation with a lot more space to defend, vulnerable to cutters, but again Boston just manage it, collapse at the right time, don't allow anything easy around the basket. When we talk versatility, Horford, Tatum and Williams are three of the worst defenders you want collapsing on you as you try and approach that rim. And although this is the second unit and missing a lot of starters, I just like this possession as a commitment from White and Tatum to wall off the paint here, no drives allowed in. Dribble handoff, we go again, wall off the paint here, no drives allowed in, and the possession comes to nothing. And we talk versatility, Boston are able to switch guys onto Joel Embiid here. A lot of teams in the NBA don't even have one guy you can trust against Joel. Grant Williams forcing Joel Embiid into a tough look, and again here. And I guess Grant Williams is the definition of big wing / versatile big that Udoka's talking about. Can also meet guards at the rim. But it would be remiss to talk about rim protection and not mention the Time Lord. He is comfortable defending out in space and altering shots. He can stick with guards. And he's also showing improvement in the low post matchups that his frame wasn't able to handle before. Here he's against maybe the best low post player in the NBA in Joker, Nikola Jokic. And let's show a second possession just to show that that first one weren't a fluke. But where you really get the value in Rob Williams' defense this year is him being the help defender. He can come and just swat stuff out of the sky. His positioning, his timing has got so much better. He can mix it up, getting out and defending people on the perimeter. They think they've got him, bang, he's in there with the block. And I don't think you can overstate how hard it is to score on a team that are tough to penetrate the paint. And then once you get there to the rim, the easy looks are made that much harder by someone who's able to do, well, this. But when you get down to it, the biggest thing that Boston have defensively going for them is their ability to switch. Boston lead the NBA in switching on ball screens because they trust guys like Marcus Smart here or Nikola Jokic in their ability to defend up a position, or in some cases down a position. Here we see Jason Tatum taking on the point guard, Derek White under the basket, a really good rim protector for a guard. Marcus Smart again on the opposition 4 on their power forward, making it tough for them. Boston's ability to defend up or down is what makes them so tough to crack. Al Horford is a 35-year-old center, yet here he goes from defending the opposition 4 to the opposition 2 to the opposition 1. And when the quick point guard gets it back, still has the ability to stay with his drive and block him at the rim. Here we see Trae Young initially picked up by Marcus Smart, then handed over to Jason Tatum, but Al Horford, 35-year-old center, hedges that ball screen, and Trae Young, one of the niftiest hard-to-guard guys in the NBA, still cannot get past him. In a team full of all defense consideration, Al Horford is the forgotten man as he alters another shot out on the perimeter here. And while we've rightly given flowers to Marcus Smart, Rob Williams, and Al Horford, show me another team whose best scorer and best player is as elite defensively as Jason Tatum is showing these clips. Fights over the first screen, hedges the second, goes from guarding the 4 to the opposition 2, forces a good scorer into a miss. We see another hedge on the ball screen here, and Tatum switches onto Gallinari, and I just love this possession. This is a 23-year-old guy stopping a guy who's been a top scorer in the NBA for going on a decade. Quick feet, active hands, smothered. So we've seen Tatum lock up a 4, lock up a 2. He switches onto Trae Young here, and Trae, look at him, goes through everything in his bag to try and shake Jason Tatum, and he cannot get an inch from him. And again, Boston protect that paint, forcing the ball out of bounds. Another possession here where Boston show all that they're about defensively. Tatum hedges the screen. Lou Will can't get past him at all. Forced to the weak side. Tatum comes out. Grant Williams stopping Okongwu from getting anything easy at the rim, and a big rebound grab late in the game. And again, Tatum fights over the screen. On there too, Trae Young curls out of the corner to get a handoff and is about as successful as he was on the last one as Tatum swats that out of the sky. And so that's what teams are dealing with when they come against what now must be accepted as one of the best defenses in the NBA. Whether it's enough to mount a real title challenge is yet to be seen. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to follow us on the Twitter and lock into our weekly UK-based NBA podcast at Courtside, Fracas, Spotify, Apple, wherever it is you consume your podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and engage in the debate on our social media platforms.